Hi, welcome to Mammoth Tales. I am being trolled by three insane people in a very patient Chris Black.
Yeah.
All Aussie Dungeons and Dragons, shut the hell up while I do my intro. I am not Jordan. I have switched. We have become the new Dungeon Master. We are the all ever-present we. And Jordan will be joining us probably later in the stream. We'll get to see his new character pretty soon. We have one promotion still going, I believe, the Campaign Coins promotion. Our lovely friend Jackson over at Campaign Coins. Oh, we have some more over there.
Campaign.
Out to our first 10 subscribers. I believe we're at 8 now, which is huge. We have a following. And once we hit number 10, we'll be... We have one promotion. Thanks, Holly. We'll be raffling those out. One of the lucky winners from those 10 will get these lovely tokens from Campaign Coins Treasure, worthy of your greatest adventures. Thank God Jordan said that every week, because otherwise I would not have remembered it. But yeah, jump into your subscribe. If you've got a free subscription with Twitch Prime, you can actually just claim that from the top right hand corner in Twitch. Doesn't cost you anything. You just get it if you've got Twitch Prime. Otherwise, if no one has anything else, we'll jump straight in.
After I've put some lip gloss on.
Gotta prepare.
You gotta make sure you're not cheaping.
Yeah.
My lips nice and moist. Okay.
Moist.
Moist.
Love that word.
Moist.
So,
Go.
welcome back to the world in which you inhabit, which spirals out countless realms, countless planes of existence. On the outer and the lower planes, positive and negative, demons and angels, expanding far beyond even mortal comprehension. But we'll get to that another time. And then further on the inside, we've got the elemental chaos and the planes of earth, air, fire, and water, and the Feywild and the Shadow Realm sitting below the mortal realm, which we inhabit, of Lixium. Where the many gods that you have come to know fairly well preside over, take on different aspects of the world in terms of fear, in terms of lust and passion and growth and renewal and decay. But we're not really talking about those either right now, because we're talking about a ship, the deck of a ship, where a few adventurers have had a little bit of fun, and one not so much, dropping onto the deck of a ship, exhausted, pretty much seeing the end, seeing nothing ahead of him, and you were all very, very thankful to see him hurtling back through a portal.
Yes.
And Willow not, apparently. It hit you a little bit, but much like sort of the ringing in the ears of a battlefield, you saw hundreds of Kenku on the shore. You're on a ship where you saw Yanagar, a friend of yours that you'd made, seemingly get pulled towards the city. You somewhere near some of the temples. You're not exactly sure where she ended up. And your first thought came to survival. This ship, it was pretty much the only thing standing between you, a red gem, and hundreds of Kenku. And over the next few hours, you see the very well-prepared militia of South Sage. John Draff has, he's made some good connections, and while they're not ready to fight a war, they were definitely able to start sorting out his Kenku, and you started to experience... you found a space that you could essentially moor back and get your bearings, and go to try and find your friend Yanagar. The temple to Celestine. Yanagar seemingly just up in the air, being suspended, a beam of light straight through her as she lays prostrated. Not in pain so much, but without choice and without fear. She's just there, and she knows why she's there. She's there, and she's not surprised. And you see Celestine pacing around on the floor, and there's a crowd of people now. They don't seem to be able to see Celestine, but all four of you can. Even in your exhausted state, pushing through the crowd, just trying to find some answers. You end up seeing Celestine muttering to herself, just on the edge of some kind of insanity, saying the same words over and over again. They're not gods, they're not gods, they're not gods. They're not gods. And then you see her eyes flash with anger, and she flies directly up to Yennegar, plunges her hand directly into Yennegar's chest, and turns it, and rips back. Yennegar disintegrates, disappears into nothing. Celestine, seemingly bereft of her power, falls back down into the temple as well. These people saw Yennegar explode. You guys saw what actually happened, which was seemingly a god, from what you know, taking the life of a friend that you'd made. And then what followed was an intense sunlight through the temple, like pure sunlight, as only the most beautiful of summer days could ever provide. It was calming. It was the brightest thing you've ever seen, but it was also, you could look directly into it. It was not something that you had to shy away from. It filled you. And you felt in the presence of Celestine in that moment, before the light dissipated. And then you realized, wow, there's actually no light anywhere. And the world plunged into darkness. For the next week, you all did sort of individual things, bits and pieces. You were asked to help with the defense of the town. The Kenku had essentially surrounded the town looking for something. Known pretty much only just to you, to John Draff, and to a couple of other individuals maybe, you're not quite sure, that it's that gem that they're after. For some reason, though, everyone else thinks that the Kenku are just there to mess with you. What have we got here?
What we got here?
What we got here?
They're the only ones who can see the god.
We're so special.
We have
Oh my
so
God.
much PTSD.
Oh, look at that beautiful lady.
Gosh, who's that? I have a crush on her.
Anwei,
She's alright.
shaken, curious, always the one to be the first asking questions. The times when everyone was asked to help out, Anwei helped as much as she could, and often found herself residing at a small tavern at the back of South Sage called the Swinging Tadpole, where many people from outside the city, now being attacked from all sides, especially farmers, tradespeople, anyone managing any kind of post outside the city, have essentially come within the city's walls and are looking for just a place to calm their mind. And Anwei was there, playing her harp, helping out as best as she could, and generally just being a place for people to open up and to relax, while she herself tried to ponder many of the things they'd gone through in the past few weeks.
It's so HD.
They're so big. It's so cool seeing them so big.
Yeah, I've never seen like the details.
Oh my god.
Hayden,
That
I know.
gap year, our gap year Genasi.
Yeah.
Lots of questions again. Really wants to know what's going on, and on the passing of Willow, and the seeming passing of Willow, and the injuring of Damara. Wanted to take some time. Often her friends would not be able to find her. May have been spending some time outside the walls. You don't know. It's pretty dangerous, but people on their gap year don't really listen.
They're too busy finding themselves.
And spent a fair amount of time in Trinx's Forest of Wonders, and got back to nature there with her compatriot Milo, and may have made a friend there. We'll see.
I've only ever seen that photo like this big, and the crystals, when enlarged, are so detailed.
And her glistening skin too.
Beautiful.
Yeah, gorge.
Annabelle Camp, Rushes, Rushes. She's amazing. She's
Yeah,
beautiful.
go follow Rushes on Twitter. She's an amazing artist.
Shout out to our girl.
Damara, on recovery, seemingly a lot quicker than anyone would have imagined. Definitely a lot of power running through the blood of this tiefling. Decides that, you know what, it's time for me to start taking matters back into my own hands. Starts to investigate, keep an eye on things. Unable to find Brudgar for some reason, but you hear he's been locked up somewhere down near the guards' barracks. Definitely not a long-term jail. People aren't kept there for a long time, but he still seems to be there. And may have also managed to revisit something lost, something sunk. And we'll leave that up to him to work out if he's going to tell everyone.
Interesting.
You are so crafty.
Crafty individual. Archael.
Oh, yeah.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Archael. Confused. Definitely confused. Fairly angry. But taking this time to reconnect with nature and find some of the stronger trees amongst Trinx's Forest of Wonders. Spends time wandering the bases of the trunks, looking after Nectar as much as you can. You spend a bit of time with Nectar, and Nectar spends a bit of time probably coming down to the Iron Trunks as well. But you may have seen Nectar out the corner of your eye whilst you're in the forest. Not super shy about it, you know. She's not trying to hide from you, but didn't take a lot of time to talk.
Oh, lovely.
And that brings us to the present day.
Oh my god!
Ah, you galah.
That was the wrong one.
Short Ross.
I didn't see!
Huh? No, you didn't see it. Okay, we got one reveal left. It's all good.
I was looking at...
We all lost our bet.
So,
Oh, I didn't see. My feet are sweating now.
each of you have experienced the days returning to somewhat normal, although the sun doesn't seem to really be too strong at the moment. It's been 7 days later since the world got plunged into darkness, and you're looking at what you think is the middle of the day, and the timekeepers will tell you it's the middle of the day, but it's sort of looking like dusk. It's looking a bit like dusk. And you have all, in your own spaces, been called together. Specifically, when someone saw Harkale sitting alone, a little message pops up and asks each of you, come to the Iron Trunk section of the woods in the center of town. Let's go and find Harkale. And you will make your way there. And you see Harkale sitting there, alone, scratching something into the dirt. Maybe the bugs are on the floor, maybe they're not. But this is the first time you probably would have all been together since that time had passed, 7 days later. There'd been a lot of spot fires of bandits, lots of Kenku, lots of fighting, not a lot of water left in the town. Trade routes have been shut down, you're eating a lot of fish. The clerics are working in overdrive trying to produce clean food and water. And the three of you approach and see Harkale sitting there. And Harkale, you see the three of them approach you.
What did I do? What did you do? Nothing.
What have you been doing?
Nothing. What's happening?
Well, we heard you were here. We thought we'd come check on you.
Who told you I was here?
Lara told us at the swinging tadpole.
Do I know this person?
She may have heard from John Draff.
Right.
Perhaps John Druff told her to tell us. Apparently you've just been sitting here in a tree.
Yeah, and I've been doing important stuff. I haven't just been sitting down and fucking...
Have you made a nest?
No.
Do you make nests?
I do make nests.
Can we see your nest?
No?
Okay.
Doesn't look like there's a nest.
I'm curious to see what your nest looks like.
You just like see behind her, it's just like a bunch of sticks.
Is it a good nest?
Harko would tell you it's a good nest. For sure.
Yeah, this is what I can do. It's got all my belongings just like strewn about.
Iris has a little laugh to herself.
Well, I'm
What
glad.
does crow sound like when it's
I'm
laughing?
glad you've been productive.
And what have you been doing?
I've been comforting the masses.
Yes, she's been playing her harp non-stop.
You're welcome.
Yeah, this is literally the only place I can actually get to sleep. Because I don't have to listen to you do.
I thought it was so you could crawl into your pathetic attempt at a nest.
My nest is great, thank you.
Remind me to never sit you two together again. Whilst these two are nattering, Iris peeks around over your shoulder, just keeping an eye out always, trying to look after you, and sees a fairly large, hulky shadow sitting sort of behind one of the trees, who notices then he's been noticed and gets up and waddles forward, and you see John Draff, huge muscular frame with this very patient owl eyes, taking a look at each of you, sort of padfoots forward and sits down in front of you, plops, and just kind of checks you all out.
What does John Draff think of the nest?
He thinks it's great, thank you.
John Draff wouldn't judge such things.
Exactly.
And he also is wise enough to know that Harkar will not give a shit what John Draff
He's a
thought
big
of this.
owl. I just thought he could make a good nest.
Ooh. It's very interesting to see you all together again. Have you recovered okay?
I have, thank you, John Draff, for finding us the place to stay as well.
Please, it is my duty, as it would be yours if you were in charge of this town. Ooh. You look like you've been up to no good, but I know you've been helping. Thank you so much. Individual efforts combined to make a very, very strong town. Did you have any concern as to why I called you here today?
Yeah, I'm curious.
Yes, I'm guessing it wasn't just to see the Harkale's nest.
Yeah, it wasn't much to see.
Oh, I think it's a rather fine,
Thank you! And all you soft
rather
people.
fine nest.
Thank you. All you fucking soft people in your city's
We all
beds.
start somewhere.
Who needs a bed?
I haven't been able to find one big enough yet.
See? You just have to make a nest.
Absolutely. No. I'm sure all of you must be wondering why I took the red gem from you. It fell. You held onto it very well, but I now have it. And I have been loaning it to a friend of mine. Its properties are mysterious. It is an odd thing. And it did seem to make a connection with your gem.
Yes, it definitely helped out a lot. I don't know if I would have been able to make it back without it. But,
We may be scratching the surface with this gem. It seems powerful.
Can I ask who you gave it to?
You know her. You've met her. Sierra.
Ah.
I don't think I haven't seen you. What did you think of her?
Interesting lady.
Isn't she just? Really ruffles my feathers from time to time. She can be a bit of a dastardly human being.
Yeah. Interested, yet
Yes.
not interested. It was weird.
Maybe we should go and pay her a visit. She might be able to shed some light on the current situation. Beyond this consistent attack, we're going to need some kind of endgame. We have no way of stopping the Kenku from arriving here if they know the gem is still here. Will you follow me?
Yeah.
Is that why you called us?
Yes.
This is the first time we've all seen each other, right?
You would have seen each other from time to time around the city. Like, there have been skirmishing parties that have been called together for combined of people who at least know how to hold a weapon, with several Kenku and bandits and raiders holding up inside houses and taking people hostage.
How does Mara look like he's holding up?
Fairly well.
So he's had a lot of rest.
Damara has had enough rest, but you get the sense that Damara is definitely the connection to whatever he has a connection to, not that you have discovered much of that, is definitely pushing him above and beyond what any other creature would be able to recover from.
Is he wearing the crystal?
Are you wearing the crystal? You had the necklace last.
The
It was a necklace of clear white quartz that Willow put on you.
Like it.
Okay, well I hadn't considered that. Yes, yeah. In memory of Willow, I'm still wearing the crystal necklace, and I've still got the red diamond in my pocket. But, the replica.
Okay.
Diamond.
Okay. Well, John Draft just kind of gets up and lazily turns around. He looks tired. He looks like someone who has been doing a lot and a lot of people rely on. So he's taking his time. He's actually in a moment now with you guys where he feels like maybe he can spend a bit more time being John Draft, like personal John Draft.
I'm relaxed.
So he plods off.
Is he eating berries?
Is he what?
Is he eating berries?
Mini pumpkins!
No, he's not eating berries.
How far of a walk would you say the forest is?
To where you're going?
To where Sarah is?
About
Zero.
6 or 7 minutes.
Okay.
How's the forest holding up? Like, does it still look the same, or is it being affected?
Roll a nature check.
Nature. Uh, 15.
15.
Mm-hmm.
Looking at some of the undergrowth and some of the way that it's been here a long time. Like this forest has been here a long time, and very intricate canopy, very intricate ground life as well. And a lot of the trees are covered in vines, and they sprout very bright green shoots. You get up close, have a look at the bark, have a look at the tree in general, and have a look at some of the crawling vines that wrap around the tree.
Mm-hmm.
You can't see any new buds. You can only see ones that maybe are probably at least 7 days old.
Okay. Cool.
In this darkness, has there been stars?
Yes.
Okay. So it's like constant
The
night.
stars have still been there. It's just been a constant night.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Interesting.
So he plods along. He continues on further through the forest, sort of every now and again
Follow
looking back
him?
to see if you're following.
Yeah. As we go along, I ask him like, is the forest fucked too, or?
Fucked.
Like,
Would you
I
like
have
to
seen
read
it
more?
too. I do not know.
sorry, can you repeat that?
I don't know.
Don't know. It's just nothing's really been growing for the past week.
Nothing within the walls, at least. We sense new growth nearby, but we haven't seen a lot of it. It's dead, or at least the farmers coming in told us that their crops began to lose some of their flavour. They were definitely not as lush as we would like.
And that's not really normal this time of year, is it?
No,
No.
not at all.
Okay.
Sort of walks along and paws the bottom of a tree and just sort of double checks some of the moss and stuff there. Definitely not springing back like it should. There's not a lot of water in there.
We're walking on grass, not like dirt path.
There's dirt, there's patches of grass and clover, little patches where there were bright flowers, now less so, sort of the dried up sort of flower buds sitting at the top of stems. Yeah. As you push through, about 5 or 6 minutes later, you see ahead of you a hut. This hut is probably the most alive thing you've seen so far. It sits at about 5 to 6 meters tall and at least 10 to 11 meters wide. It's sort of a slight dome shape. and it's covered in vines. Moss is growing up the side of it, and it all looks very green. It all looks very, very new, and it looks like you would imagine it's somehow being generated. This does not look like it's supposed to grow here. Roll a nature check.
No, 7.
Yeah, it's pretty green.
So, have you been here before?
Yeah. In my time off, I came to the forest.
And you were staying at this hut?
I wasn't staying at this hut, but I've visited the hut.
Did you build this hut?
No, it's not my hut.
Have I seen Hayden go inside?
No.
No. Okay.
No.
Okay.
Have I seen the hut?
No.
Okay.
It's very curious in the hut.
In fact, no, you haven't seen the hut. So you approach the hut, and as you approach the hut, you can hear muttering. You can hear some kind of muffled sound going on inside, almost as if it's a room full of people discussing something. As you get closer, John Draft kind of turns around and looks at each of you. Don't mind Sierra. She's busy, but very useful. And approaches and just sort of stands at where you think a door might be. Can't quite see a door. The vines all sort of pull back, revealing a door space into sort of a cozy little abode. And then John Draft backs his big bear back up to the side of the door and gestures for each of you to move inside.
I feel like I just walk straight on through.
Yeah.
If I see...
Yeah. So Hayden, so Hayden pushes straight through, strides,
Straight through the front.
the hair just cascading back occasionally, like picking up some of the vines as she walks through. It's a pretty hard deal trying to get all that hair through a small vine-covered doorway. And Sierra turns around. Oh, darling, welcome. But I'm sorry, I'm really a bit busy at the moment. What are you doing here?
Hey, Sierra, we've come with John Draft.
Oh, John Draft's here. Oh, shit.
Hi there.
I didn't realize I had two voices there for a moment. Sorry, that spell must have backfired. Come in, please. I don't have anywhere for you to sit, but welcome. My gosh.
I wait for
Welcome.
everyone else to go
and
in
gives
before I go
a
in.
keen nod to you as you see in front of you Sierra, as she's being called. A fairly old-looking tiefling of quite purple skin. She seems very well dressed in sort of white and sort of dusky pink robes, quite form-fitting with a big bow sitting off to the side. And you get the idea that she likes to dress nicely. However, it's all a bit tattered. Like, she hasn't probably changed for a little bit, and she's you can see little bits of stuff that may have ended up on her dress somewhere. So not the cleanest looking person, but definitely nice material. You definitely say that it's nice material. With big ram horns on the front of her head, with sort of a silver and purple crystal going through them. And she's sort of looking at you and holding just a scroll in her left hand and sort of looking at each of you come in, and then John Draft follows in behind. Oh, Sierra, I was hoping we could discuss matters concerning, well, this, and presents the red gem. And she looks at it and just kind of like slumps her shoulders and doesn't. She looks like someone who's been awake for a long time. Oh God, I haven't even begun to delve through the depths of what the meaning of that is. But please put it down. What do you want to know? Actually, what do you all know about it?
I know it's red. It's pretty big. And it's powerful. And the Kenku one.
And it's connected to that mountain god that the dwarf follows.
Oh, to Spire.
Yes.
Yes, it does seem to have that inflection. But who cares? I mean, it's just very powerful. And yes, the Kenku want it. A lot of people want it. It seems that we're being attacked from all sides, and the only thing I can think of is that. Darling, do you know how dangerous this gem is being here? And we don't have enough of a force to protect it here. We don't know what to do with it.
What people other than the Kenku are looking for the gem?
Oh, there seems to be some kind of gathering of individuals that have been joining the Kenku in their attacks on the city. Won't give us their name. They don't have any affiliation, it seems. That they don't talk to us about it. They just want the bloody gem. And she starts pacing up and down. You can see now she's not wearing any shoes. She's actually just walking on moss. Which actually being in here, it's kind of the nicest feeling you've had as to being in a forest. It's very dense and very lush. And there seems to be a lot of energy here.
Yeah, I'm definitely just standing there, running my toes through it.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Nice.
Nice.
She actually turns to you in this moment and goes, how are you going with that little trick I taught you?
Yeah, alright.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's fun, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's nice being someone else.
It's so nice.
Anyway. Yes. It can't stay here. And,
Well, then it should be destroyed.
oh, by all means. And takes the gem from John Draffel, picks it up, and walks over to a pedestal and puts it down. And then just sort of stands back up, half nervously, but also kind of just waiting.
So you think this is all because of that gem?
Maybe. I don't know. I don't have any other leads. There seems to be a lot happening. I mean, I can't say that random waves attacking our shores are also because of a gem. That doesn't seem to be connected in any way.
In all of your work, have you met anybody who would be experienced with these kinds of magical gems or items with such powerful properties?
Gems can be enhanced, I guess, as to their own nature. As far as gems being discovered that have inherent properties beyond any other gem in the world, no. These things don't exist, and therefore no one is an expert on them.
I
Because
see, so you feel that someone in particular has enhanced this gem for some reason.
someone, something, maybe some leaking of another dimension power into this world poured itself into the gem for some reason. It may have been a mistake.
Do we know how long ago?
No. I can't date it. I have tried every spell I can think of to try and identify it. And every time I try and do anything, it backfires and bloody shoots at me.
It shoots at you.
I once tried to identify it with a rather high-level spell that maybe was beyond what I'm able to cast. I think I'm good. John Draff looks over, Sira. You're the most powerful caster in the city. Shut up. I'm nowhere near as powerful as I need to be, because obviously this is beyond me. And I don't know what to do with it.
What does it do?
It makes things
Like what?
magic. It has its own magic. It has its own life. It has its own feel. And often when I've been working with it, I sometimes get feelings from it. I sometimes get rushes of emotion. Confused or angry.
Can I touch it?
Yeah. You reach out and touch it. It's fairly cool. It's cool like you would expect like a steel or like an underground rock to be, as opposed to the space in which you're in is quite warm and nice and lovely and fresh, and you know it's actually just being held by Jondrath. It's still quite cool. Yeah.
So you feel like it's alive?
Oh, darling, trees are alive, but you can't talk to them.
This is the only one that they're looking for?
I don't know. Have you spoken to a Kenku before?
Well, spoken is a bit of a stretch. But they wanted the gem.
They did.
They wanted that gem.
They seem very interested by the gem.
Yes.
What we do know is that whoever wants the gem is strong enough to have that many Kenku at their disposal. And we don't want to lose any other assets because of it.
That's true.
We already lost one.
What? Are you losing things too?
What have you lost?
I asked you first.
We lost our cat.
Oh, the cats can be replaced, darling. Come on. Look at the street. There's plenty of them around.
I glare at her.
I said backseat.
She's just a bit confused.
Someone from our party.
Oh no. Well, I'm sure they'll be fine.
Yourself, what did you lose?
Sometimes I notice things missing from my place here. Sometimes I think it takes them, the gem. I don't know. But it seems to have its own agenda.
What have you been missing? What has been taken?
Oh, nothing serious. A couple of implements, tools. I had a really nice set of scales that I used to use, and lots of little. And she walks over, and you can see a rack there with lots of different little weights there that are used to weigh different things against the very old-fashioned scales. And you can see a bunch of them are missing. They're just gone.
Have we lost stuff?
No. You check your belongings. Everything is where you think it is.
Okay. Well, this. Sorry, you go.
No, you go.
Well, one of you go.
Well, this will all end if we just destroy it, right? So why don't we just destroy it? Then the Kenku will stop and they'll leave and this will all end.
Oh, darling, I've already asked your friend to. Have a go.
Have a go.
Yeah. Roll an attack. What do you do?
I grab my great axe and I go down on the top.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to die. So,
I don't like her.
is it 15?
15?
You said that out loud.
Well, you
No, I say that
you
to
definitely
you.
hit it.
Yep.
Just for fun, roll damage,
Okay.
but don't tell me anything unless it's not the lowest or highest number you can roll.
12.
Highest number you can roll? Mm-hmm. Okay. You see Harkel pretty annoyed about this whole situation, just wants the job done, pulls out her great axe and swings it, uses all the power to bring it down on top of the gem.
I quickly move my hand.
The gem takes the axe flies straight into the gem, removing it and a cutout of the gem into the axe now embedded on top of the gem, with what seems like little bits of metal missing from the actual blade of the axe. You now have a beautiful gem cut into your great axe.
She's belittling us. An item that powerful would need to be probably destroyed by an item equally as powerful.
Well, that failed.
Wait. Is this fucking broken now?
Yes.
No!
What about you, John Draff? Have you tried to destroy it?
She
Oh.
couldn't if she tried. And neither
John
could he.
Draff.
Well, he couldn't.
It's only broken on one side, right? Not the other.
Okay.
Okay.
I have had too many things on my mind. This is an endless possibility. But my friends in the city have needed me. I don't believe I have the tools here to work this out. This is beyond any of us. But we are getting news of stirrings, not just Kenku, but black dragonborn and goblins and orcs parading. They're coming down from the north. I don't know what they're doing. They're not all moving towards us. They're doing something else. But we know that it may be linked, and until we can prove it isn't, we must pretend that it is.
How long have you two known each other?
Sierra kind of half looks at John Draff and... You tell him, darling. John Draff looks at Sierra and goes, I am old. Sierra is a lot older than me. As much as I have tried to be a father to the townsfolk, I also needed guidance during my life. We did not bang.
No, that was not.
If you
that
got
was
me,
a character.
let me start.
I want to insight check that.
Yeah.
Okay, bang.
Did bang
It's
or
an A.
not bang?
It's an 8.
Yeah.
Have they banged?
You can see a connection there.
They've wanted to bang.
Do they want to bang?
But beyond that, you can't really read anything else.
Disgusting. I muttered that actually as Anway really quiet.
That's disgusting.
Do I hear it?
Lucky. I don't know who will keep this, but I can't think of anyone stronger at this point in time than you, Lord.
Wow.
You have come through much, and I would hope that you could at least take some time in your lives to maybe tie your fate to that of this gem. It was given to you. It has been connected to you since it came to my town. Who would like to carry it?
I'll carry it.
Sierra bows her head. Oh, thank Christ, Jesus. Okay, and pulls a small bag from her waist.
Mm-hmm.
It's about the size of a gem. It's a very deep, vibrant purple.
What's it made out of?
Does it go with my outfit?
What are you wearing?
I'm wearing blue. I don't wear purple.
Purple and blue? Bitch, please.
That's fine.
Is it velvet?
It looks like it's velvet, and if you were to touch it, it kind of has a feeling of like a fine merino wool, but not as thick.
Okay.
And she opens up the bag, and she goes, "This is the only thing I'm putting in here, okay?" Drops it in, and the bag goes straight again, and then hands you the bag.
I take it.
It doesn't feel like it weighs a thing.
I have a heart bag of holding, I think.
Wouldn't this be safer at the town?
Who are you asking?
Both of them.
I can take it somewhere no one will ever find it.
Wow. Where?
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 Wait. Sierra. And you see John Drapp turn to Sierra, and Sierra goes, yes, nothing can hear us.
I can take it home.
Where's home?
Fang to Min.
Where in Faintaman?
Sierra, and
Where's
at this
Faintaman?
moment, Sierra looks at you and says, oh yes, that city that was just revealed in the middle of the lake.
And I look like my world has been broken.
Oh, darling, I wouldn't take it there. They've got their own problems. Do you know what happens when a city surrounded by ghouls, ghosts, dragonborn, goblins, and monsters gets revealed in the middle of nowhere?
Lots of tourists.
Oh, well, they seem like they're doing okay. Oh, is this a shock? Did you not know?
I have to go.
What?
What's wrong, Anwar?
I have to go.
Go where? Back home? Oh, you can't take the gem north, darling.
I don't care about your stupid gem, and I don't care about your stupid people. And I throw the gem back at her.
Okay.
I'll pick it up. And
I leave the hut.
Yeah, I assumed as much. Thank you very much for your time.
You're welcome.
I'm sure
Are
we
you
will...
sure this will be safe? I do not want it to head toward those that which might seek it, and I don't know what with it.
Of course, we will keep it as safe as we can.
Absolutely.
If you have any other information that may help us to keep it safe or to find out more about it, then now would be the time to tell us. But
Yeah, do you have anything to give us
Give you?
to help?
Maybe. And she runs over. She has a corner of the room covered in papers and books and all kinds of things, and brings out 3 scrolls. These scrolls, you may recognize it. You may recognize the incantation on the scroll. It's all in common. And it appears to be a way of creating magical barriers, which can pretty much stop anything from passing through it. I've heard some news of increased activity along the coast. Should the time come and you hear the horn from the riders above us, and at this point you remember some of the people that John Draff had called, some of the reinforcements, 3 figures that you saw circling above the city on what you thought were very, very big eagles, but every now and again when they passed over you saw sort of flashes of dragon scale underneath the feathers. And these have only ever been referred to as the Vicon. And the Vicon have been helping just sort of keep an eye on the city. Yes, the Vicon have sort of given us news of increased activity up and down the coast. You hear the horn from above. Please, come to the shores. We may need you. We may need everyone.
Have kobolds been coming down from north as well?
I've heard news of all kinds. I haven't personally heard about kobold.
Who's been on top of the Nikon?
The Vicon?
The Vicon.
You would not have met them. They have pretty much spent their entire time in the air.
But have things been riding them?
Yes, there is some form of figure riding them. Roll a perception check with advantage.
Yeah, I need that. 16.
You don't recognize their race, but you do see flashes of gold. They look like they have either partly or mostly golden skin.
And just a clarification from before, because I don't think I heard it properly. Did you say like the people that are coming down from north are already here, or are just on their way?
Making their way down.
Making their way down.
Is that why we can't take the gem down?
The way she's explaining it, she gives the general sense that there's a lot of movement. So peoples that may have stayed in one space, moving more than they would usually, and creatures such as the ones mentioned, orcs and kobolds and black dragonborn especially, have been forming larger groups and moving south. Although no one can really tell you why.
Cool.
Where would you say the best place to take the gem is?
Anywhere but north. Unless, of course, you work out what it's for. Then it may need to go.
Thank you very much for your time, Sierra, but I think we need to be moving on after our friend. Otherwise we might lose her to another old lady in a strange house somewhere.
Absolutely. And she sort of waves you on and continues working. John Draff follows you out.
Catches.
Where would you have walked to?
I've gone to the tavern to get my stuff.
Gone to the tavern to get your stuff? Okay. So you go back, you sort of... I'm guessing that exchange took a few minutes. Roll a nature check.
2. I rolled a natural nat 1.
Okay. For now, you've gone to the tavern to get your stuff. You lot,
Look for her. I look for her.
you go look for her.
Well,
you-
I would assume that she's gone back to the tavern. We've been staying there all week. I know all of her stuff's there. I know
collect
she
her
wants to
trunk
leave.
with her
Yeah, she
chest.
won't leave without her chest and her things. I don't think.
All right. You head back towards the tavern. Town sort of continues as it was in the dusk light. People are still getting used to it, but it's a lot busier in town with all of the folk seeking protection, and a lot more guard out and about in smaller patrols where you can see hired hands. Back at the tavern, it's a little bit emptier during the day, I guess you would say, but as you enter, you see Anwe's either collecting things from her sort of performance area in the corner. She also has a room that's been gifted to her upstairs. So you could probably find her upstairs in Lara's tavern, which is has a very homely feel. It's definitely not somewhere that a lot of the passing ships mates would stop because they just wouldn't know about it, and a lot of the people in town keep it a bit quieter as a locals tavern, to make sure it doesn't just get absolutely saturated in drunken pirate oath. It's got a friendly feel, and you can head upstairs to find Anwe.
Anwe, why the long face?
Have you ever heard of Fainterman before you met me?
No?
No.
Exactly. In this entire continent's history, our location has never been revealed. The council have never failed.
And now they failed.
Celestine is dead. The veil on Fainterman is Celestine's.
Right.
And it's my fault. I should have told them. I should have told them we went and met Celestine, and I should have gone home.
Can't blame yourself.
Yes, I can. I was sent here by my council to keep an eye on all of you.
On us.
Not you, your people. And I met a god, and I met multiple gods, and I thought I could do something or fix something, and instead of that, I didn't go home and tell them that there were problems because I thought I could... I don't know what I thought.
How long would it take you to get home?
Days. 10?
Well, could you even have stopped it in time?
It doesn't matter if I could stop it in time, I have to be there.
Well, if you're going north, I'm going north too. I need to know what's happening in Irontown.
I don't care about the gem. Your people have fought for things before, and they'll fight for things again. That's all your people do. You fight, and you fight.
What are you hoping you're going to be able to change in 10 days, though, when you get up there?
I don't know.
What's your plan?
I don't have a plan. My plan right now is to get my stuff and to get that horse that I stole.
But don't you think the gem could have something to do with the unveiling? And don't you think figuring that out will help?
No, I think the gem is dangerous.
Then we should fucking destroy it.
Willow's dead. He's dead. Damara almost died. He was sent to some plane. You didn't see him. Well, you saw him, but my point is I did. I saw you there. And he was being killed slowly. Whatever it is, it's not meant for us. It's not meant for anyone. People are just going to lose people to that gem wherever it goes.
But it wasn't the gem that took me there. In fact, it was the gem that was able to help me get out.
And it was the same gem that was able to help Willow get in and become trapped. And I have to go north.
I would hate to think that you went up north to try and help in vain. Because I think you are in a very unique position. If, as you say, your town has never been seen before, then surely there are going to be a lot of people up there that are in a lot of trouble. Maybe you are one of the few people who are outside of that, south of this marching army. I mean, you have the gem that could potentially help. And you know what happened to Celestine. You saw it firsthand, and if that was the cause of the veil being lifted, then maybe that's important. Maybe you giving away your life on a whim is not going to be the best thing for your people. I mean, it was what happened to Celestine here on the other side of Lixium that changed things in Faerun. Maybe you can make a difference from this far away.
Virabeth wants to make all of the continent one.
What?
I see.
Virabeth wanted us to join you, to reveal ourselves, so that apparently all of the continent could live as one. My people threatened the Dragonborn, said that we had lived for millennia by ourselves and would continue to live for millennia by ourselves. We live on Shimmer Lake.
Shimmer Lake? Well, I've looked into the lake. How am I? You can't live in water.
We don't. It's not a lake.
What is it?
It's a city.
In the water.
Yes. If the one thing we had is that no one knew where we were. But if Virabeth knows where we are...
Why does she want to make everyone one continent?
I don't know.
Hang on, back to the water. Are you living in the water or are you in the dry underwater?
We live on top of the water.
I'm lost.
It's a circle. There's a bridge. In the center of the lake is our temple. That entire circle has been caved in. Another circle of water. Another circle beyond you. That's where the higher-ups live, nobility. Another circle. Our farms. And then the final circle. So I suppose it is a lake with lots of moats around it, as in your terms. But it's a city. It's been a city from, well, since history.
Why couldn't Harkow see it?
Because we had a veil, Celestine's veil. The veil made it so that nobody could enter and nobody could get out.
How'd you get out?
Again, I'm going to take off my coat. I'm going to take off I have a blouse. I'm going to take off my blouse. I have an undershirt. Don't get too excited. And on my shoulder I have a tattoo. I always kind of imagined it like a stalk of lavender. These are given to people who can leave.
One interesting thing. Where's Gazer?
The Gazer is in the pocket dimension at the moment.
He's in the pocket dimension?
Yep.
Okay.
I haven't had him out while I've been staying at the Swinging Tadpole because he was being more trouble than he was worth.
Good to know.
If you don't have one of these, you can't come back.
What, one of these? And I use thaumaturgy to make a lavender tattoo identical and pull up my arm.
I see right through him. Can I get back?
Nope.
I'm staring.
Very funny. Ha ha.
Who gave you the tattoo?
The council. They're only given to people who have the right to leave the town.
What made you so special?
I'm not special.
Well, who else was there? How many people have been given permission to leave?
2.
Including yourself or other than yourself?
Other than myself.
And do you know where they are?
No.
Oh, who are these people?
One is on the 10, the circle. And then I don't know the other.
while you chose them was a punishment or like an honor?
An honor. But if you leave without this, that's what happens to criminals. You're sent outside the lake without the ability to ever come home.
Does that mean that now that Salacine's veil has been lifted, that all these criminal types from your society will be able to get back into the town?
Perhaps, but there's not many. Not many defy the council.
Could we get in?
I don't know. I don't know who could get in.
Well, what are you thinking? What is your plan?
I don't have a plan.
I don't think you should make any rash decisions. I think you should sleep on it.
And know that we have your back, even though we may not have been to this fain to min. If it's important to you, then...
Do you think Virabeth wants the gem?
One interesting
wants the
thing.
gem.
When you say that, you feel the gem move.
I just felt the gem when I was saying that we had your back and that we were there for you. I felt it tingling in its pouch.
That's creepy.
It is a bit weird. As you were saying, Virabeth, well, I think she does want the gem. She wanted the dragon sword.
She wants the gem, that's what the Kenku said.
She wants
but
everything.
They didn't say it, but they I think they had her voice when they were talking. They've talked to them. And if the Black Dragonborn are coming down south, that means she's coming herself.
Well, then we keep going south. We go as south as we can go.
I don't think we can head too much further. Oh no, yeah. Well, for a bit. Yeah. Now that I look at the map. Yeah.
Mara remembers his days ferrying further north and remembers, there was some times I went quite further south. Further to the west.
Perhaps that is what I can do. I lead them on a goose chase.
This whole gem thing's really freaking me out.
What can be powerful enough to destroy this thing? It's clearly more trouble than it's worth. Like, maybe this will all just go away if it's gone.
Did Virabeth go away? Just because you left your tribe? She's not going away. None of you are going away.
Maybe we make Virabeth go away.
I look at you like you're an absolute imbecile. Like the scum of the earth.
And I look at you like, that's a great idea. I'm like, yes, I think we could manage that. Yeah.
The gem tingles.
Is that the new one? That's the new one.
The gem tingles.
No one can touch her. She is a member of the 10. Even trying to get in her general vicinity will have an entire legion trying to kill you.
No,
And even if she was alone, she's more powerful than anybody.
We had an entire legion of Kenku try and kill us only a week ago.
We've met gods.
Yes,
She's not a god.
definitely
I'm not scared
not.
of Virabeth. Virabeth.
Well, then you're an idiot. You should be scared of Virabeth. But what about your mark?
What about my mark?
Oh, true, they're going to be able to find us because you mark.
No, I don't think Virabeth has access to that sort of information.
She has her ways.
I have my ways of removing the mark as well.
Can you
I
please
can
give
cut
me
off
your
your hand?
passive perception?
Exactly.
My passive perception is passive wisdom. You mean like perception, passive wisdom? Yeah, 14.
Have you seen his neck recently? Because it looks like it might not be there.
His neck.
Isn't it? No, your hand. So his hand. Sorry, I meant to say hand.
Oh, there's a chance it's not there now. Okay, well, I take off my black glove. That was why. Now look, is it there?
You see that it's sort of like an echo. You see where the outline was, and sort of like someone who's had to try and have the tattoos removed, who's had the laser go over it time and time again. And you can't really tell whether or not you've just gotten used to seeing it there a lot, if it's a trick of the light, or if it actually has gone. But it appears like there's no power there, and what's left may be just bits of darkened skin.
Holy shit.
It is fading. Well, maybe it was more connected to Celestine than I realized. Or maybe it was Yanagar's passing that has broken that connection. I don't know.
What do
You
we...
hear a sort of heavy thud on the door.
I get my
Slightly
bow.
heavy one again.
I go toward the side of the door.
You go what?
Toward the side of the door, so if anybody comes in, then I'm there.
Right.
In the whole direction.
A few seconds pass. Another thud
On the door?
on the door.
On the room we're in.
Right.
Oh.
Alright, so I'm coming. I go up and I'll open the door just a little bit.
This poor person.
You see what most of the lamplight there is in the corridor is blocked by this huge hulking bear form and a little beak looking at you just very carefully of John Draff. Oh, am I interrupting something? You look like you've seen lots of ghosts.
It's good to see you, old friend. I didn't expect you to come here of all places, but please come in. I'm sure the others wouldn't mind.
Oh, I wouldn't. I mean, there's plenty of space downstairs, and I have someone that I think might be able to help you. Maybe you could meet them.
Is he?
And we'll take a break.
Oh.
This is fun, guys.
Brutal! I can't believe you did that!
Hi.
My poor people!
Did you think this would be a cakewalk? Thanks, everyone. We're going to take our short rest, get some cheese, have
Ooh,
some
yeah.
I
coffee.
never thought the veil would go down.
See you soon.
I didn't know what to do.
Welcome back.
Welcome.
I forgot my coffee. It's fine.
Abby's coffeeless. That may be an issue.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We rejoined. Oh, we won't rejoin for a second. I just want to give a special shout out to the lovely folk over at Larian Studios for providing some approvals to play their music. So
Yay!
at the moment we're listening to some tracks from the original Divinity, original Sin games from number 1 and number 2.
Gorgeous.
Super nice. They have an amazing community outreach, the way that they're able to actually deal with some of us smaller folk in the real world is really, really nice. And the ability to play this amazing music makes everything even more amazing. So yeah, big shout outs to them. Swedish geniuses they are. Great studio. Bringing out Baldur's Gate. Baldur's Gate 3. It's coming.
Hey.
We rejoin our party. A little bit emotional.
Yep.
A little bit, M's gone on a tant. Anway's a little bit upset.
Being very hurtful.
My people might be having mass genocide right now. I feel like that's a bit...
I
It's more of a tantrum.
It's a problem. It's a problem. John Draft suggests that he might have someone who could either shed light on things or at least help you sort of make some sense of the last few days, and asks you if you can maybe just follow his bear butt down the stairs.
He has a bear butt.
Well, he's a big
B-E-A-R.
bear. He's a bear butt. B-E-A-R. Not B-E-A-R-E.
Before,
Although he probably also is.
before we head downstairs, can I do my new thing?
Yep. So
Yes,
okay.
let's
So
see
as
what you
you
learn.
are as you're about to head downstairs, Hayton seems too excited to be just going downstairs to meet someone, and pauses for a second at the top of the stairs. She's actually facing away from you, so what you can see is legs, the bottom of a butt, and then a mass of auburn hair with her usual crystals. As you see her pause for a second, put her hands up over her face, and throw them up over her hair and down.
Oh, it's like the craft.
Exactly what I've also been told. And changes into a visage that looks almost exactly like Hayton. Still sort of the same features showing through, but a lot more human. A lot more elf as well, and with the pointy ears that a wood elf would have. And she sort of just turns around to each of you and gives you a little bit of a...
How did you do that?
It was my time with Sierra.
I see. What's going on here? You've learned to change form or something?
It's just so I can blend in a bit more.
Well, fair enough.
Yeah, she's very interested in me, and she also knows what it's like to be stared at, so...
That's good. That's
Yeah.
good.
You hear John Draff left foot hit the bottom step a little bit louder than it probably should, probably saying, "Get down here."
I take my time.
I go to
As you descend the stairs,
Ooh,
eventually...
one quick thing. How
Yeah.
tall would I be now?
You're the same height.
Okay, cool.
You're the same height, but it may appear that you're a little bit shorter just because your hair has so much volume.
Yeah.
You work that shit in your natural form that with a little bit more of a slicked head, you look like you could be a bit shorter.
Okay.
But in reality, you're not.
Is
Okay.
Anway turned on?
No, she's disgusted.
Okay.
There are a couple of patrons in Lara's tavern, not too many, and John Draft sort of pushes through, half knocking into some of the chairs that are a little bit too close together for him to be able to actually get his bear form through. Up to the edge of what little darkness there is in the corner of this tavern, and as you try and sort of look into what sheltered candlelight you can see, Jordan? Hey! So you're going to be DMing again.
Alright, so switch back.
Oh no, don't you dare!
You're just gonna be lucky if we don't kill you.
Yeah, nice.
Well, what do we have here?
So from the corner,
You're big.
you see this very familiar face approach you with a few unfamiliar faces tagging along behind Jondrath. And why don't you let everyone know what you see?
What are you?
What they see.
What they see.
What are you?
So you see in front of you, smoking a cigar shrouded in smoke, a 3 foot tall Galar Aarakocra.
He's short.
If anyone at home doesn't know what a Galar is, it's essentially a pink cockatoo or a pink parrot.
Sorry.
He has a headband and like a whitish silver mohawk. He looks quite rugged and well worn. He's wearing very simple monastic clothing. And he's sort of sitting back in the chair with his feet up.
I'm finally taller than someone.
Ah, creepy as ever. Everyone,
Okay, I like John Trevor. That was some shade.
this is Nyx.
Nyx.
Well. It's nice to meet you all.
Nice to meet you too.
Nice to meet you, mate.
John Draff, how can I be of service?
Well, you all seem to have something in common, as you have all fallen in favor of our dear friend departed Yanigar, who, yes,
Indeed.
it was sad, and I don't believe that we have seen the last of her soul in this realm. But for now, she is gone. And I know you were close. And I know you all got to see just a sliver of who she was and what work she did on this plane.
Yeah,
But-
she was a real nice looking lady.
Nyx has discovered something which he's just informed me that maybe you'd each be able to help him out with. And I wouldn't want to put one of you in danger, but together, maybe you could help follow the threads of her life. She has a small cottage which she kept very private. Nyx, why don't you tell them what you saw?
Well, in passing her cottage the last few days, I've noticed some peculiar things out of place. I approached the front door and the lock seemed to be meddled with. And, John Draff, with your permission, I'd like to further investigate to see if anything is going on. With respect, of course, to her late self.
Oh, Nyx, I think we understand each other as far as death is concerned, that you would trust Yanigar's place in this realm and respect whatever is left.
I think I very much would.
Well, he reaches up and around his neck, a leatherette sort of tied with a big knot necklace with a fairly simple looking key on it, pulls it off. You've never seen him wearing this before. He looked like he pretty much wore this to give it to you just now, and hands it over to you. I don't know if any of the locks you find have been tampered with more than just simple trying to enter, but if they're not, that's for you.
Thank you very much.
Anything you find there, make sure you let us know. But keep what you need.
Of course.
Would you all be willing to assist? I know Yanigar did many things for you and helped at least bring you back against odds, I believe, that weren't in your favor.
I'm definitely indebted to Yanigar.
Maybe this can be our last favor for her with so much that she has done for us.
How does he know Yanagar?
I have had a very close personal connection with Yanagar. I spent a lot of time at the Temple of Noctikur since I arrived here in South Sage.
Well, I too have spent a lot of time here in town at the temple and working quite closely with Yanagar. If you think there's something that we can do to honor her life and what she did for us, I myself am happy to help.
I very much appreciate that. Well, shall we head off?
Where's the cottage?
Not far from here.
What direction?
Jondrath turns to face south, just down from Lara's tavern. That way. Just a few blocks. Very easy to find.
I'll go check it out.
So what, we're just seeing if anything's strange?
Yanagar did many things that we never knew about. I find it hard to believe that there aren't people out there that wouldn't also try and find out what she was up to.
Is this part of repaying the barkeep?
I haven't heard from that barkeep in a long time, and Yanagar was the chief distributor of that justice, apart from that which I could hope you could do. All of you have helped tremendously over the past 7 days in the defense of the city. And your time is noted, but there are bigger fish to fry. Too many. I'm getting sick of not eating edible crops and roots.
I hear ya.
I'll go.
Very much appreciate that.
I'll go south.
Understood.
Well,
What about you, Hako?
Jondrath kind of looks at you, sort of doesn't know why you've changed your mind, but accepts it.
it's none of his business.
Well, it's just... If Celestine's not here anymore, then nothing's really tying us here. And there are things going on up north, and I don't it just feels like we could be elsewhere doing something else. And I appreciate everything Yanagar did, but it's just, this feels like a waste of time with everything going on.
Can I talk to Hakel alone?
Would you like everyone to leave the set?
No.
Okay.
No, I just mean, can I take her aside, I guess?
Yeah.
I kind of lightly kick her. And then I walk away and
I hit her like...
You hit my leg?
Not
Okay,
not
I thought with your axe. I was like,
Hayden. That's
No.
Look. I hate to say this, but perhaps Tamara had a point. My people are strong. Your people are strong. I'm sure they can hold things off. But Virabeth, she wants this, right? And we both know we can't kill Virabeth. But we can sidetrack Virabeth. And I'm saying this very quietly to make sure no one hears, by the way.
Is anyone actively listening?
I definitely am.
Yeah, me too. I'm sus.
Can I look around?
How far away did you move, and are you facing the group?
I'm not facing the group, and I moved probably, if we're at like a stool, I went towards like the door.
I'm only going to let you roll. And
11.
Yeah.
Yanagar was powerful. She probably has other powerful things. We go to a cottage, we take what we need, and we go south. And we take that ridiculous gem with us.
I need to know what's happening in the north.
Maybe this is the best thing we can do.
Fine, I'll go too.
I hope not begrudgingly, but it would be nice just for this final moment before you make your grander plans. So be it. Be careful. There are still enemies within the walls.
I side-eye this galah.
Can I ask what time it is?
Yeah, it's getting later. You guys have spent a fair bit of the day. It's pushing sort of 7 or 8 at night. As much as the dusk turning to dark, it's not as easy to tell because the sun hasn't been very high, but it's definitely now getting quite dark.
Okay.
Yeah.
I press my cigar into my hand and rub it out and put it away. And I walk out.
See some of the feathers kind of sizzle and burn. Doesn't seem to flinch. Heads out. Chandra just kind of watches him go.
Well, I'm not going to follow him first.
I'll go.
Yeah, fine.
I open the door and stand in the doorway looking back at everyone.
Yeah. Follow
head
on out.
I take my time, and I check my nails, and then I go. When I'm ready!
Is the post office on the way out of town?
The post office is empty. You know this because you tried to send a letter. You did send a letter. You didn't send it by the post office.
Okay.
When you sent your letter during the downtime, John Treff has called in different folk that you have not seen in the city before. With everything cut off, it's been very hard to get anything done, and he called in the services of an old friend. What looks to be a very, very, very short wood elf, but with quite large butterfly wings, who was very interested to talk to you, was very interested that you were even there, and when you met her, she was in one of the small quarters at John Draff's in the house, in the manor. And John Draff explained that there are a limited number of times that he could send messages out of the town, at least for now, because of the barracking of the city. But as you meet this character, her name is Tatiana, she has with her, in the company of her, a lot of small, weird, cat-sized dragons.
Oh my god, that's the cutest thing I've ever heard.
No two of them seem to look the same, have the same colour. They sit and almost tend to sort of move in and out of existence. They sort of sit with her, look at you, disappear for a bit, come back, and there's only about 4 or 5 of them that are sitting with her. And John Draff explains to you that you can send a message with one of these dragons. And he gets you to write whatever note you would like to send, ask you where you would like it to go, and ensures that it will definitely get to its location and a little bit faster than it usually would. And so you take your time to write the note, I'm assuming.
Mm-hmm. That's the note that I've already...
Yep.
Yep.
That's fine.
Mm-hmm.
And the dragon has a small, a little cylinder sitting just on the side of its body, which the note goes into, locks it up, and you see the little dragon fly up to you, kind of like whack you in the side of the head with its little head, which you don't feel it. It's like a cat's paw. It's kind of like a bonk, and then poof, gone.
Okay. So that's what did happen when I went to send...
That's what did happen.
Okay.
You have not received a note back.
Okay, so I would know if the...
You would know. You would know if you had a note back. You don't know if it would be the same dragon. You don't know if it would receive a note back by dragon because these seem to be tied directly to Tatiana.
Do the dragons have names?
No, she didn't
Okay.
tell you if they did, but you know.
Cool. If I had that, like, if I knew that, I wouldn't have bothered with the post office then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Essentially, all road in and out of the city and any trade has been halted, save via heavily guarded ships that have managed to make it in and out.
Beauty.
While we're on that topic, can I ask if I made any contact in my week off?
Nope. Anyway, so you head out. It's very dark. You can see small groups of militia and various forms of the Dragonborn Guard with other folk patrolling the city. Sometimes they're knocking on doors, sometimes they're just standing on a corner. And you also hear the distant movement of air of many large wings flying overhead. You know this to be the Vicon still patrolling. Occasionally you'll see a bit of a light come down from one of them into a certain area, just near the walls, and then disappear again. Three of them just following their own path. And you begin to reach what you know to be the area to which Yanagar's more private quarters would be. And as you remember, there are lights on. You know that these are probably in some way magical in nature. And everything's pretty much as you remember it.
When we get to like the front door, I sort of turn around and I say to everyone, "Now, I'm not very much into making enemies, and John Draff has told me that you're all to be trusted, and I take his word very seriously. So I hope that you can put that trust back in me when I say this is very much for a dear friend, and I very much appreciate your help. If you see anything when we're inside, just let me know.
What should we be looking out for?
Anything that seems out of place or tampered with, any marks or scuffs or of the sort." Take out the key and put it in the door.
Yep, opens fairly easily. And now, let's see if I can actually bring this up. So Resident Ben's away. But
Benny!
we have a thing.
Shout out to Benny boy.
We love Benny.
We love Benny.
He is such a beautiful Ben.
The best band.
The best kind
want
of
to cuddle
Ben.
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 Benny boy.
Ben.
Hey.
Ben, Ben, Ben.
Ben. Woo! That was
Definitely not.
Humble abodes.
Wow.
Whoa, that
I
lighting.
wish Yanniga took me back to her chambers.
Look at the fire.
I was almost going to insight check you when she was like, like. Okay.
So-
there's a fire still lit?
There are fires still lit all the way through.
Sus.
Half because a lot of the magic, as you know, in this town is magical by nature, so to save from fumes, to save from restocking. Also partly because the lighting engine in this mapping software was making things too dark for something at night. So I just added a fuckload of fire to it.
Okay, cool. That's a cool effect though.
But you open the door and the first thing you see is a house. It looks fairly simple. It looks fairly well kept. Nothing seems to be moved. Nothing has been pushed aside too much. You see bookcases with a few standardly leather-bound styled books. They seem to be on random histories of different corners of Lixium. Some on some specific topics such as evocation and illusion and different schools of magic, but nothing inherently instructive in nature, more as a sort of a record keeping.
As soon as we walk through the door, I bring my wings forward and grab two of my feathers, and I do a scan of the room.
Yeah, do a perception
As we
check.
walk in. Oh, hang on. Oh, that's much better. 24.
24. It may look like someone has been in. You can tell from how it looks like it's been longer than a week since Yanagar's been here, just by the fact that there is, you run your finger along the table. There's a slight scattering of dust, but you do see down on the floor one of the chairs that is sitting up against the table. Looks like it has small lines in the dust on the ground where it may have been pulled out recently.
I signal everyone to look at the dust and the marks, and I say, this is the kind of things we're looking for. Any signs of recent movement, or just keep your eyes peeled. We don't know if anyone's in here either.
I'm gonna go to the bookshelf. Does it look like any of the books have been taken, or which books look the most popular, well worn? I want to look for both.
Roll a perception check, just to see if anything's been removed.
Yeah, it's far away. 10.
10.
Yeah.
You can't really see if anything's been removed recently. You do notice that none of these books look new, almost as if she's either been gifted them from someone who's previously read them, or she hasn't had any new books printed or given to her recently, as in these are all hers and they're older and she has read all of them cover to cover.
Yeah.
Can I go up and investigate her bedroom? Because I feel like a woman should do that.
By the way, you are currently a Feldrin, Nix.
Yes, sick.
And I can't move you for whatever reason. Oh, because you're in a door.
Oh, no. So go to...
Because you know the software so much better than I do.
Do you want me to just change the setting for you?
Oh,
There's a setting on the menu on the bottom right. You can change, select settings, and make only functional.
I love that she's got a basement.
easy.
I'm ready
Okay.
to find some
Oh, no, because the door's
weird
functional.
stuff in that basement.
And you're in the door now.
Was that Kenku ever let out of the basement?
You're there with them.
Probably
That's
not.
easy.
Probably not.
Straight there.
You're going to check the bedroom.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. You open the door of the bedroom. The bed doesn't look like it's been slept in for a long time. It is made. The bed is made. And there are further evidence of a small stack of books by the bed, and not much more. You know Yanagar to be somewhat. She lives to work, and a lot of where you think her main living would have happened would have been within the mayor's official residence and her quarters that she had there. So this was probably kept just for emergencies or whatever else she could have thought.
Want to
Can I,
go
like-
and you go.
I was gonna say, can I close my eyes and stand really still and see if I can hear or feel anything with my feet connected, in her house, if there would any hidden little pockets or chambers or anything.
So what are you specifically are you feeling with your feet?
I'm feeling with my feet for any kind of vibrations or.
Roll a perception check.
14.
Not really. No, I mean it's you feel it's hardwood. And you're standing in the bedroom. Mm-hmm. It's solid.
Solid, okay.
So you would have probably noticed maybe some railing and some stairs to the right of you, but where you're standing right now, there's nothing below you.
Okay.
So that's about all you can tell.
I would walk past Hayden while she's doing that, and I want to look at the books that Yanagar was reading and see if they're relevant to anything that any recent events or anything like that.
Okay, you flip through some of the books. There is books on the fall of Goldstone and the general recounting of the events that led the humans to essentially be separated and segregated back to essentially living within the rest of the rest of the race.
Yeah.
Races, those who didn't go back to Britick. And some further reading on the difference between certain societal norms between all the cities.
Yep.
Roll another perception check specifically on looking at what she may have been reading on.
Investigation instead.
Investigation. Sorry.
Gotta get used to all my pluses. That's 16.
16.
Yeah.
There's one book that looks fairly well worn. The edges are definitely peeled back a lot from the spine, from it being left open, perhaps even being worked on.
Yep.
And it is in the different uses of architecture throughout the races of Lixium.
Yeah.
Specifically, subterranean architecture and the ways to support larger buildings from using structures and intricate pressure points underneath the ground to create either caverns under the ground or to create taller structures above the ground that won't shift or move with the earth.
Yeah.
It looks dwarven in make, as most of those books would have been.
Yeah. Cool. Thank you.
I'm gonna go. There's stairs leading down.
Mm-hmm.
They're not. Yeah, I'm gonna go and have a look down the stairs.
Look down the stairs.
I'm gonna join him.
Are they the stairs in the
Can
bedroom?
I help him? But I'm gonna go behind him.
Behind him.
Yeah. Of course, there's weird stuff down there.
Fetuses in jars.
Fits and jars.
And that's Harkow. So
me.
Tamara
Oh, look
was
at
out
that
first.
ring.
You're down there too. Just because you are, and I can't get your token back. So
Yeah.
I'm not going to edit on the fly. Or are you not?
As we're all heading down, I'd probably say I think someone should maybe keep watch out the window.
I'll keep watch, and I'll also. Is there any food I can eat while in the kitchen while I'm having a watch? Did she leave any
No
food?
food.
Oh,
No, nothing. No, nothing of sustenance.
I'll keep watch.
You keep watch. So where are you going to stay?
I'll stay up on the level where. Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. Alright. You come downstairs and you don't hear anything so much more than see what appears to be on the far right wall around the corner. You can see tables with some different scrolls and what looks to be empty potion bottles sitting on the table with those as well. It looks like a workstation. It probably was Yanagar's, obviously. And inscribed on the right-hand wall is a large glyph. It seems to emanate a faint blue light and almost react to your presence as if it's kind of like sensing movement, and then just sort of gently glows. You're all bathed in sort of like a half pale bluey white colour. This is a large source of light in this room.
What's that?
I don't know.
Does anybody have a book or something that we can make a copy of this glyph?
Oh, I take out my little pen and my little paper,
Yep.
my little quill.
I draw my own version of it as well.
Yep.
Has anybody seen this before?
Can I pick up one of the scrolls?
Yeah.
What's written on the scroll?
You see a language that you've never seen before. There's sort of
Can I cast comprehend languages?
yeah, if you like.
Sick. I want to read it.
Okay. So Anwei goes to pick up a scroll and unfurls it. And upon realizing that she can't read whatever language this is in, you all sort of see black lines, some a little bit shorter, some a bit longer. Everything is just in lines like this. There doesn't seem to be any different characters. She pulls forth her magic from the weave to cast comprehend languages.
Oh, I love when I get little pieces of papers.
Can you please roll a d6?
Oh no.
Blow up in your face.
Six? Yeah.
Talk too soon.
A 3.
The magic comes forth, and as the words start making sense to you, you feel the magic return to you, and then start decaying. The first thing you get is a heart palpitation, like it's beaten out of rhythm, and you fall to your knees.
I collapse.
What's going on?
You've lost a health point.
What the hell?
I'm gonna
You've
grab
lost,
the.
you've
grab
lost
the
another health point.
Scroll.
The scroll. Someone take the scroll.
Yeah, I grab the scroll
I
quickly
drop
and
it.
I place it
Tamara takes
back
the
on
scroll.
go to put it back on the table.
Anwei loses another health point.
If I sniff any of the potions, can I tell if there's like anything that would help?
You can
If-
smell residual bits,
Yeah.
but
Did I read
even
it,
if any
though?
of them could help, there isn't enough quantity in here to make anything work.
Did I read it though?
Nope. You didn't get to see anything on the paper. You've lost another health point.
Have I seen anything like this?
No.
I call out to Yanigar. Yanigar! What is this?
You've lost another health point.
I'm gonna take off the necklace of Celestine. Say, here, maybe try wearing this. And hand you that.
I put it on.
Yep, so Tamara hands over, you quickly throw it on, feeling life pull from you. You lose another health point.
If I go look any closer to the glyph or anything, is there anything that I can find out that would help?
Roll an investigation check. Actually, no, roll a religion check.
Heck, man. Where is my 15.
It looks like something that, and you may have seen this carved into trees, and in thinking back to your time in Iron Chunk, the chain looks like something that you would carve into a tree to bind something there, to stop something either from leaving or coming back. Basically, it looks like it's supposed to be keeping something either away or keeping something there, and that's about all you can remember of seeing chains, in various forms, often in a circle. Sometimes it'd just be a line with a cross line of chains, and it was always about binding. So either it was binding away from or binding to. You've lost another health point.
Have I seen anything
This is
up
binding glyph.
the top? Upstairs?
17.
No, but you're actively looking out. Roll a perception check.
11.
Does anyone know anything about binding glyphs?
I take up my dagger, and you see like this dagger that's shaped like a feather. It's sort of fades from orange to like a red magenta hue, and I like try and slash through part of the glyph.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. So Nyx pulls out a feather style dagger, much looking like one of his own feathers, a little bit different coloured, and as he pulls the dagger through the glyph, I need to work this out. Is your dagger magical in any way?
Yeah.
You see the glyph ripple and then return to normal.
Have I seen anything like this before?
Roll a general intelligence check.
Okay. That was terrible. Do you mean, my actual intelligence?
Mm-hmm.
What's a 4 right now? Because I got a 2+2. Is that what you mean?
Yes, just a roll plus your intelligence modifier.
Oh, okay, well it's 4.
Okay. No. And as you lose another health point, you feel it subside. You end with your forehead on the ground, no energy to pull yourself back up again, and you can feel whatever hit you, whatever magic hit you, has been pulled away from you, and you have your strength back. You've been hurt, but you are not on the brink of death.
I move over to you and I hold out a health potion for you.
I'm gonna take it. And I'm gonna drink it.
That's small, just regular.
Yeah.
1d4 plus 4.
1d4.
So, were you saying that there were multiple scrolls on the
Yeah.
desk there?
There are multiple scrolls. They appear to be, if you're going to look through them.
I wanna have a look at them. Are they all written with the same line?
No, this is the
language?
only one, and it was on the top.
Yep. And the other ones, are they decipherable?
Yep. There's 2 other scrolls.
Mm-hmm.
If you want to take those, and can you know what they are straight away? If you were to know what a wizard's scroll.
No, I have no reason why I would have seen any more wizard scrolls than anyone else. In the
Okay.
party. Yep.
Yeah, they appear to be written in Celestial.
Yep.
And unless you can read Celestial, you're unable to comprehend what they say.
Why the fuck would Yanagar have something like this in
But I
her
can read it.
house?
He didn't get damage touching them?
No, that was the one. It was
This
only
is
the one
the-
on top.
These are the
You
Celestial
didn't get the
ones.
damage from touching that scroll. You got the damage from casting comprehend languages. You felt you yourself pulling the familiar energy from the weave, and as you shaped it into the spell, this scroll sent it right back at you.
I'm gonna do something like just completely on a whim. I don't know if the others notice me do it or not, but I'm going to pull the red diamond out of the bag.
The second you do that,
Fuck me.
No. Have you seen that cat?
from the rafters above you, 2 Kenku and a tabaxi drop down. A very lithe, jaguar-looking tabaxi,
Oh, fuck me. We didn't check in the bottom room, did we?
What?
who apparently it was dark enough for them to be hiding in the rafters above you. Everyone roll initiative.
Have I come down or am I still at the top?
Huh?
Have I come down or am I still at the top?
You are still up top.
God damn it.
You had a really great roll in your perception, and you would have been able to feel it moving around
Oh, this
if you were
guy's
above
small.
the spot where the boards actually were. But down here, you were in the bedroom. Alright.
So you guys have terrible rolls today.
Alright.
Me
I got
too.
Alright.
That.
Next.
25. Holy. Big rolls.
Anway.
4.
Yes.
I rolled a 4. I rolled 2.
So that's different.
Okay.
Wow.
Hayden.
7.
And
Because I'm in a
Zamara.
new
8.
spot.
Okay.
I'm so glad I didn't. I was gonna go check underneath the stairs. I'm so glad I didn't check underneath the stairs. I would have been killed. I'm so squishy. Can you hear anything? Did you check that? You
I
can't-
did.
Oh,
I
you-
didn't hear and see anything.
Oh, easy peasy, babe.
If I was standing above them,
I have a message. May I send a message to Hayden?
Can you send a message to Hayden? You probably can on turn.
Are you?
Ooh.
Message.
The glowing, like, the effects of the glowing looks really, really cool. Like, just the light in
Yeah,
general looks really
Light
cool.
effects are very good.
You
It's
go,
like
Ben.
it's real.
We appreciate you, Ben.
We love you, Benny.
Like, even the shadows are on our tokens as well.
Mm.
Okay.
And the blue glow on the floor around there.
Yeah.
So, the Kenku, immediately, as soon as the diamond is produced, both drop down to Baxi, apparently dropping down a second later on this, seeing that the Kenku have engaged. Nyx, you're the first one to see it. You knew you should have checked downstairs, and you already had half an eye northward. You go first, go.
Alright, so where am I?
So I would say, you've given Arnway the health potion.
Yep. So I'm right next to Arnway.
Is up here, who has just read the scroll.
Alright.
I'm also going to say, because everyone was pretty concerned, you're going to be fairly together, and you are up next to Arnway.
Okay. So that's the Kenku right there.
That's one Kenku here. There's another Kenku back here, and a Tabaxi.
Alright. So I'm gonna walk up this front Kenku, and I'm gonna try to kick him in the chest, and I'm gonna turn around with my bonus action and give him a crack with my elbow.
Okay, double attack.
26.
26
to hit.
No problems at all. You saw him as before he even landed. You lined up your shots and went in for the kill.
And then the second one is 12 to hit. In the second.
The 12 lined up your first shot, but apparently the Kenku landed well and dodged your second.
So that's 9 damage.
9 damage. With a swift kick, the Kenku takes the strike, reels back, really not expecting such a strong hit, and really struggles to steady himself.
And then I'm going to move to the other two.
You're going to move to the other two?
Yeah, I'm going to trust that these guys have this guy under control.
So you will take an opportunity of attack?
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay, so you move away from this Kenku, and he swipes out, regaining his senses, comes around to hit you, and 15?
No.
Misses. Too confused, too dazed, really not expecting that strike. You manage to make 1, 2, 3, your movement all the way up to these 2 red tokens in the bottom corner. It is now that Kenku's turn. Taking such a strong hit really doesn't want to mess with you, but they have been watching everything that happened in this room, and they know that Arnway is definitely not feeling great right now. So he's going to try some dirty tactics and move around. Who's that in the blue? I can't see.
I think that's Damara.
Damara.
He's usually
Who's around
purple.
Damara?
Yep.
Interesting point. Where's Aris on your shoulder?
Yep.
Okay, you can take an attack of opportunity against this Kenku if you like.
Oh, wow.
The quick blind man.
Yeah. So I with my staff, swing my staff at him.
Yeah, you do.
If I can get. That's not too bad. So that's an 11 to hit.
Yeah, that hits. Roll for damage.
There we go. And then where are we? That's 2 damage.
2 damage.
Cop that.
Cop that! You got my bag.
Does he say that to the Kenku?
No, he doesn't add a catchphrase to his 2 damage. He lets that one slide.
So Tamara, hearing this apparent dropping of feet to the ground around him, the floorboards creaking and moving as his new friend Nyx, apparently lightning fast, takes a swipe at the closest one and disappears, leaving the other one behind you. You just reach your staff out and smack it into the gut, doubling over this already dazed Kenku, thinking twice about going after a quarry that was behind what looks like the front line of this crew. It is now Harkel's turn.
Okay, so there's only one dude around.
1 there and 2 down here. Yep.
Okay. So she's been a bit pissed off all the way here, so it doesn't really take much to her to get a bit mad. But
You're gonna write?
But yeah,
You don't have advantage on that attack.
as soon as she rages, the unseen protectors out of her weapon, which basically just gives disadvantage on the enemy hitting anyone that's not me.
Which one?
Or anyone who I try to hit on my turn.
Anyone who you try to hit on your turn. Absolutely.
Yeah, sorry. Yep, and I... No, yeah, okay, so I'm just going... Wait. Is that the head of it? Wait, is Pack Tactics... Yep, you have any... Okay. Oh, yeah, cool. Okay, I have Pack Tactics. Awesome. Okay. Yep, I'm just going to slash through the front of the body. Me.
Easy.
Yeehaw. Okay. 9.
9 damage. From the combined swipe of the dagger and then the staff into this Kenku's belly, going for Anwei, completely whiffs it down onto your axe, which you bring swinging up into its face. Ancestral Guardians briefly sparking in front of his eyes. A little bit of a "ha, fuck you" moment as the last moment he sees is his blood pooling out over the wooden floorboards.
Last moment he sees is like 3 kobolds.
Yep, absolutely. He now wonders why he bullied that young kobold in class.
Exactly.
It is now the Tabaxi's turn.
So that's the one that's near us. He's down, and then there's 2 on the other side.
Yep.
Yep, cool.
The Tabaxi is in the very bottom corner and has seen someone sprinting towards. When you check out this Tabaxi, it's nothing like you've seen in Willow. Willow's pretty much the Tabaxi that you got to know the best. This one is very lithe and is a sort of an orange colour with black spots all over. It leaps down straight towards probably Nyx. So I'm going to say that you made your full movement towards this Tabaxi.
Yeah.
In enough time for them to jump down and get a surprise round on you, which I didn't let them do a surprise round of attacks. I'm going to say that this Tabaxi was able to move probably to about there before you engaged with it.
Yeah, cool.
So you're engaged with that Tabaxi there, and he's going to roll the hit. 22.
22 hits.
It's 8 damage as you see this Tabaxi pull out a rapier and instead of slashing out, brings it straight forward, trying to parry through any attacks that you might have, and it grazes through your side. You can feel the pain that you know very well, sort of filling you, but also encouraging you to keep fighting. Damar.
Alright, I'm going to step out and summon Optic at the top of the stairs, blocking their escape.
So you're gonna cast Summon Familiar?
Find Familiar.
Find Familiar?
To bring him back.
As you cast the spell, you watch the chain glyph in the corner go blindingly light, and you pull forth your magic from the depths that you're starting to get to know how it works through the staff and where you pull your magic from. As you start to form it in your hands to bring forth your familiar, that magic gets pulled away from you. The glyph lights up and then returns back to its normal state, and you've lost your spell.
It ate his spell.
His spell had no effect.
Wow.
Yep. Well, in that case, I was going to be all intimidating and tell him to watch out, but after that, I might just go to the top of the stairs and again block their way out.
Yep.
And say quickly, if you want to get out of here alive, put your weapons down now.
Yep. Okay. It is the other Kenku's turn. Seeing you've already engaged, he's going to rush forth and attack you with advantage. That is a 21. You feel you're already engaged with someone who has already hit you, so he quite easily gets a stab in. as he comes around with a short sword, and he looks down as he stabs you as you take 5 physical damage, like it should have done more. And you can see his blade flash for a bit, and then that chain brighten and then lower. And you do not take any extra damage. And it's your turn.
Okay.
Oh, sorry, Anway. You roll 4.
Yeah. What is the rune, the glyph? What
The
is
glyph.
it? Is it carved in the wall?
No.
It's drawn.
You haven't inspected it, but it doesn't look like it's affected the surface at all. It looks like it's just there on the surface, maybe even a few inches proud of the surface.
And one of us has touched it,
Yep, with a weapon.
and it didn't do anything.
Oh.
Okay, I'm gonna move. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
I'm gonna get my bow.
Yep.
And I'm going to aim for the one at the stairs.
Yeah, which one? The Tabaxi or the Kenku? The Kenku?
Tabaxi.
The Tabaxi?
Yeah.
Roll a hit.
20. Dirty 20 though.
That hits. Roll for damage.
Okay. 7. 6 plus 1.
Damage.
And I'm going to say to Damara, we can't use our magic in here, we have to go. We have to take this fight elsewhere. Well, no, I can't because it's gone, isn't it? But can I use cast message as a cantrip?
You want to cast
I wanna
message?
try
That's
cast
alright, I'm
message.
on your level.
Okay.
I know.
Okay. Okay, we have to get out. Okay. When I try to cast cantrip, does anything happen? Can I use...
Yep. So you pull forth your magic,
Yeah.
and you feel the same thing. It leaves you. The glyph appears to surge in power, and you lose your spell.
Okay, we've got to go. Okay, that's my end my turn. Oh! Is Bardic Inspiration magic?
No, not technically. There is magic pulled.
Uh-huh.
Hang on.
Okay.
Because my longbow, it should be
God, where's a 5e shit? I'm going to say for the purpose of this, no.
Okay. I'm going to Bardic Inspire Nyx. And I'm going to say, hey, I just met you. And this is crazy. If you could kill the Tabaxi, that'd be wonderful, maybe.
Excellent. You feel
He's a hot
a new voice
Yeah, I do.
inspiring you
Ding,
onto
ding, ding, ding.
Raider.
Very inspired by my new colleagues.
Yes.
I'm
Ding,
going
ding,
to
ding, ding.
take a stab at this Tabaxi. I'm gonna. I've got this inspiration. What I'm gonna do.
Oh, go and do it. Use it well.
Okay, I'm going to take the spear off my back and make a two-handed strike.
Yep. At
20, baby!
nat 20.
At the Tabaxi.
Okay.
Just so
I'm gonna,
inspired.
sweep at his
I
legs.
hadn't really finalized what I was going to do about that, but I'm going to say that your attack does max damage. That is a way that a lot of people run it, and I'd like to maybe run it that way. So, what is the maximum damage you can do with that attack?
So, do I get to
Yeah.
roll twice, or is it just from the one roll
Well, you
max
can-
damage?
Yeah, from the you
So
do
instead of like
initial.
critting for 2 dice, I just do max damage off 1 die
no, however many dice you would usually roll
for a crit.
for a crit.
Yeah, 16 damage.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you do 16 damage.
16.
Is it plus anything though? 16, like
Oh.
die plus?
Yes.
Yeah, you
Sorry,
got a
that's
plus. You got a
more
plus.
than- Fuck yeah. Plus 7. No, plus 5. Plus 5.
Okay.
And that's for both die.
No, I think the plus is just after
Okay.
once.
Sick.
Yeah, so it's 21
Still
damage.
sick.
And then this poor Tabaxi dropped down and engaged the wrong Aarakocra. As he goes in for the strike, you take personal insult, and in the inspiration of Unway's touch, reach out, whip around with the spear, and gash directly through his jaw up into his cheek as the muscle starts to just flay apart. He rolls back in his head, his eyes roll back in his head, and all control is lost from his muscles as he hits the deck with a thud.
Oh, yeah.
You were so inspired by my song. I asked you to kill the tabaxi, and gosh darn, he did. Is he dead?
Okay. Would you like
Half
to
of
check?
half of his head is lying on the ground. Jaws
Still be
being.
Haka.
Hang on.
black
I ain't
man.
done.
You're not done.
I'm
You've
done.
got...
I'm
Okay,
gonna use my
yeah.
bonus action,
Bonus action.
to disengage, because I can do that.
Yes, yep.
And I'm going to fly up to the top of the stairs next to Damara.
Okay, yep.
And I'm going to tell this Kenku, you ain't getting out of here, boy.
Okay, no worries. So, yep.
Okay, so it's just that the dude bro's like down at the bottom of the stairs.
Yeah, this Kenku's come out, seen his buddies get flayed alive. Actually, no one's hit the last 2 hit points off of our Kenku next to Anlai.
But you said blood was spilling down.
Oh, yeah, no, he did he hit the floor.
Yeah.
Yeah, sorry, my mistake.
I was gonna be like,
I left him on because
I
I thought he was alive, but he's not.
He's dead.
So yeah, seen his buddies
Otherwise, I would have
flayed.
stabbed him.
Obviously, like in World of Warcraft, walking into a level 60 area when you're level 5, really doesn't know what to do and
Without being
immediately
dodge
drops.
capped.
Huh? Drops his sword and takes a step backwards.
I want him alive.
And if no one's going to make any extra attacks, then combat is ended.
I want to tie him up.
You want to time
Yeah,
up?
I'm happy
I
to
don't have any rope. Who has rope?
go
I
on
have
with
rope.
that.
I am
Sick.
What have I been doing? Did I even know there was a fight happening?
You've been looking in the cupboards in the kitchen.
Looking for
Literally,
food.
what I
I
will
was going
imagine
to-
is the whole time you've been just looking at the window, looking at the clouds.
I was going to say that after the turn had come around that you were going to essentially have your 6 seconds where you would have, come to the top of the stairway. However, Damara ascended the stairs, and I don't think he would have gone down them. I probably should have asked you that.
I'm gonna search the bodies.
Search the bodies, for sure. Go for it.
Since this,
So Nyx takes the time to tie up this Kenku. Looks a bit frightened. Also looks like, he may have been checking out some of the other places in this area. He wasn't expecting this. But they were waiting for you.
since this Kenku is like tied down, does this look like the other Kenkus that we've seen? Because I remember them being the exact same.
Roll a nature check with advantage. Just because of where you grew up.
What was my
they're
type of check on the bodies?
Investigation. And
that,
are you checking the 2 downed bodies?
that was a
Sorry, hang on.
19?
19. No. These Kenku are slightly mottlier in colour. They're a little bit lighter than the ones you've seen traditionally gathered. Although the Kenku all share sort of a different colour spectrum, these ones are notably lighter and a little bit bigger.
So it doesn't look like the ones that we've seen floating around?
Nope.
Okay. Cool.
22.
22.
Oof.
You go through the Kenku first. Nothing really of note other than its weapons and armor. There's a small pouch, what looks to be about 23 gold pieces in it. Nothing else of note on that Kenku. Traveling Light seems to have been the name of the game, specifically whilst they were in the city.
Anything on the Kenku I'm tying up?
On the Kenku, so you're searching him?
Yeah.
No. A little bit more gold, about 37 gold pieces on this one. Looking to be just for either bribing guards or for use outside the city, or even just maybe what they've found in the city so far.
And the tabaxi?
Yes, on the tabaxi. On the tabaxi you find, let me just bring it up here.
In Dragon Age, I never leave a body behind. I'm a rogue.
good.
On the tabaxi, you find no gold.
It's fine. I still have 300.
Oh, there. What looks to be a round leather pouch. It's sort of flat, almost sort of like shaped like a dinner plate, with a zip over the top that runs sort of in a crescent motion from one side of the circle to the other.
Can I open it?
Yeah. You remove the zip. And interesting, it's been a little bit of time now. Something you may have noticed is the chain getting a little bit lighter. Specifically with the gem out, I know you probably would have put the gem away at some point, but you can feel the gem reacting to that chain. You open the pouch, and what you see in it is sort of like a spiraling of metal cord, like very, very thin, some a little bit thicker than others, that look to be some form of silvery whitish steel, and there's lots of them, and they all look coiled up. And as you angle the bag a little bit, as some of the light spills in, the silver turns a faint green color.
Well, I wonder if we can somehow line that up with the symbol on the wall, and this gem is going crazy for the symbol.
Does it look like it was something that Tabaxi owned, or does it look like it was something of Yanaga's?
Roll a perception check.
No, it is from the room.
18.
Looking around, you can see various hooks with a couple of, like, there's sort of an old school hunting cloak hung up there, and another leatherette pouch, a smaller one, which appears to be empty on inspection, but it's the similar kind of leather. So you think that maybe this tabaxi has come down here, found this, and then disappeared into the rafters.
I'm going to dangle it in front of the Kenku and say, is this what you wanted?
The wire.
Yeah, the little bag.
Oh.
With the wire in it, right? It's got the little wires in it.
Right, right.
Speak, bird.
Why would I want that shit?
What is it?
Who cares?
Have we heard the voice before?
No, and he's not mimicking anyone. He's talking. At least, that's what you assume.
Yeah.
He spoke in the same voice twice.
Why are you here?
Quickly darts a look at the red gem and back at you.
From my role from before, could I, and I don't know how to phrase this, but would I be able to tell, due to, like, you know, it might be hotter up north and colder down south, would their feathers accommodate for the weather, like, you know, animals' fur and stuff generally would? Like, could I tell if this is a kenku from the north or the south?
Yes, you can tell probably that its plumage is a little bit thicker, and it looks like, yes, it probably could have been a kenku from further up north. Specifically around the feet, up around the ruffle where there's the smaller downy feathers that support the larger ones. There's more of them. And you don't know much about the life cycle of a kenku. You know that the very young birds have a lot more of these smaller feathers, but this one doesn't look like a young kenku.
So it's colder up north then. Okay, cool.
The amount of time it's now been in the room, as the bright green on the strings within this bag starts to flare a bit more, you feel the gem pulse slightly, and the chain glyph on the wall lights up and then evaporates.
Evaporates.
Disappears.
Entirely.
So the thing's gone.
It looks like it was reacting to things that were in the room, and it was, every time you used a magic spell, as you felt, it was essentially eating. And you think that seeing the magic from the strings, seeing the magic from specifically this gem reacting to that glyph on the wall, maybe that was a little bit too big to eat.
Can I try something real quick and just use, is it thaumaturgy to change the colour of the flame in the fireplace?
Yep.
Yeah, I just want to just throw a thaumaturgy on it, see if I can turn it into a green flame or whatever.
Yeah.
See if we can now cast magic.
Yeah, so you reach forth, and as you pull your magic from the weave, the flames surge into a bright, vibrant green.
Did Virabeth send
Good to
you?
know.
Virabeth. Who cares
I'm gonna answer.
about Virabeth? Yeah?
Uh,
13.
You get the sense he's heard the name. You don't know what relation he has to Virabeth.
I have a very surprised look on my face at the mention of Virabeth, and I ask sort of, are we speaking of Virabeth, Order of the Ten?
Yes.
Virabeth.
Yes. Is there another Virabeth you know?
Well, no, but why are we speaking of someone who is on the Order of the Ten? Surely they have more important things to deal with than Kankus and
And a gem that everyone seems to want?
what's so special about this gem then?
Who the fuck knows what's special about this gem? Do you know?
The gem? You're asking him?
Mm-hmm. And I go up and I'm trying to intimidate him.
Okay, yeah, roll an
Yeah.
intimidation check.
Yeah, you intimidate him.
With advantage.
Cool. Oh, the same one. It says. Oh, wait. Oh, yeah, 16.
16.
Mm-hmm. I hold my axe up to his throat.
You see a crack in his exposure. Kenku are known to not really show a lot of emotion. Sort of looks a little bit scared. I want to be safe again.
What?
Gem.
You want the gem to be safe? Why? What's so special about it?
It can protect. Heal. Heal. It can heal. Protect.
This gem has healing powers?
Who's it healing?
Listen here, buddy. I pull out my dagger and I put it right up to his face. I say, see this? This can extract the soul from your body and I will banish it into the void unless you speak as to why you are in this house.
Roll an intimidation check.
Shit.
With advantage.
I think he had a cry from Yanaka.
20...
Oh, that's it.
No, sorry, 19.
Fireplace.
Similar look. We all want to fit. We all want protection. Gem can save us.
You think antagonizing the entire nation is going to protect you?
Who do you want protection from?
Everyone.
Who's trying?
Splintered.
Who's hurting you?
You know.
Do I?
Walkabout know. Irebe.
Virabeth is trying to hurt you?
He lifts up some of his wings to see a big scar down his body. He pushes the feathers back down here, another big scar down his body.
Can I tell if he's telling the truth?
Yep.
Seven.
The evidence seems to be there. We have been told the gem is stronger than anyone. Stronger than you. Than you.
Your other Kenku friends seem to be working for her. Are you not? Are you against your friends?
It's confusing, but lots has changed.
Sorry.
He said it's confusing, but lots has changed.
Like what?
Virabeth hurts everyone. Black Dragonborn, Virabeth, hurt everyone. More of us with this power, less of them, weak.
So you want the gem to protect you from the Dragonborn?
If we have gem, we don't care about Dragonborn anymore.
Do the Dragonborn want the gem?
Oh yeah.
Who's
Oh
gonna
yeah.
Who's gonna protect the gem from Virabeth? If we can beat you.
You had the gem. You won.
I pull away a bit. Is healing all I can do?
My master knows more. I don't know.
Your master.
I don't tell you that.
I pull away more. Look.
Can I
Like-
charm a person?
Because he's an enemy, right? He can't. Or is it disadvantage, or it doesn't work?
I can still do it. I can still do it. Let me give me 1 second.
Fighting it.
Yeah, we're not fighting it anymore.
He fights with. So he. Yeah, but we're still enemies there.
You want to cast Charm Person?
I want to try.
So, as all this talking has been going, and you saw Harkale open up, essentially, and take a step back from the Kenku, you feel the gem start to move again with this moment, and you're paying a lot of attention to the Kenku, but you also feel
It's kind of hard not to pay attention. It's like when your phone's on vibrate.
yeah,
and
it's hard to keep a straight mind.
Pretend it's not going. But
You feel you feel Anwei begin the incantations of a charm person spell. The stone vibrates harder and harder and swallows your magic into somewhere you don't know where it's gone. The Kenku stares at the pouch, stares at you. The stone vibrates more, and you feel it start to rise up out of the bag. And that's where we'll leave it.
Oh, I messed up! God damn it! I was gonna have a wonderful moment with this fucking bed.
I was just gonna help.
I know.
You guys are fun.
Yeah.
Thanks for that.
Thank you.
Thanks for taking it in some random direction, but that was good. We got back on track.
I thought the rune was gone.
You feeling okay?
Yeah.
Yeah, we're good.
I'm all good. I just messed up. I thought the room was gone, guys. I thought we could cast spells again. I was a fool.
I think the gem took it this time.
Sexy gem.
Thanks everyone for tuning in. Thank you for witnessing Jordan's first foray into
Hell
Nyx
yeah.
and his amazing, interesting character as we can release as a thief monk hybrid. He is the first multi-class in the
Assassin.
Assassin.
I win.
Nice.
I bet it on a monk.
Nice.
So do we give you like...
A coffee.
I thought that was for winning both.
No.
It's like a straight
No one
shot.
guessed
I was supposed to-
Aracocra though, did they?
No one
Let's
did.
go.
I wanted the voice of Mr. Darcy.
Thanks everyone. Tune in again
Bye.
next
Bye.
Sunday, 12:30 p.m. AEST. Do it. Peace.
Do it.